Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoy this video. For more content, please support us by subscribing.
We've probably all asked ourselves how long we were going to have to wait for something to happen. In the 1950s, there were people in Manhattan who would constantly ask, how long is it going to take for me to get to where I want to be because of this slow elevator? And they complained about it. They complained when they arrived in the mornings. They complained when they went to lunch. They complained on their breaks. They complained when they went home at night. The elevator was extremely slow. The building manager called the engineers to try and speed up, fix, repair this elevator. The engineers reported there's nothing they could do. So the building manager was desperate. He was tired of all the complaints. He turned to his staff and asked for any suggestion. And a simple suggestion was given that took people's attention off of the wait for the elevator and focused it more on themselves. The suggestion was to put full-length mirrors inside the elevator, and that way people wouldn't be as concerned about how long it took them. Once they did that, the complaints went almost down to zero. For this building manager, the solution was to focus someone's attention on something else. In this case, on themselves. Maybe I do that today when I'm in a line. I don't worry as much about the line, get out my electronic device. Maybe the same thing. Isaiah asks the same question. He's just been called to be a prophet, or that's when it's recorded. We're in 2 Nephi chapter 16 or Isaiah chapter 6. Now Isaiah has been a prophet because he's been acting in it the first 5 chapters of Isaiah. But in chapter 6 he records his calling to be a prophet, or maybe it's something a little bit more. At any rate, after his call, he asks the same question. Lord, how long? How long do I got to do this? The Lord answers refocuses him away from how long for you and focuses it towards something else, away from himself and towards others. The Lord said, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, the houses without man, and the lands be utterly desolate. Now this may have reference to when Assyria or Babylon comes down into the northern tribes, or to the southern, to Judah, respectively, and conquers them. But there's also a part where there is no inhabitant in the cities. So it doesn't all the way fit, because they left some there. But really the focus is, Isaiah, how long do you have to do this? Until there's no one left. Isaiah, you be a prophet and focus on the people. And when there's no one else left to teach, no one else left to help, then you're done. Maybe in a way you've felt the same way. You go into the bishop's office, you get a calling, and your first thought is, how long do I have to do this? Maybe the better focus would be not on you, but focus on the people who you're going to serve. Focus until there's no more in the Relief Society group, or no more in the teacher's quorum, or no more in the primary class. You focus on them, and you don't have to worry about how long it is anymore. Just enjoy the service. So with Isaiah, there's also a little bit extra where verse 12, there's an indication that people are moved away like the Assyrian captivity for the northern tribes. The Lord have moved men far away. They'll be great forsaking in the midst of the land. And then verses 13 and 14, there's an analogy that there will be some return. Not as many as left, a tenth part. But just like a teal tree or an oak tree, there's strength in it, even though insects may eat the leaves, yet there's going to be a renewal. There's going to be some come back. So in short, when you're ever asking yourself how long, maybe take the idea of I'm focusing on me and focus on something else. It may be good to focus on an electronic device, but so much better to focus on a person, on a group of people who the Lord would have you serve today. The first few verses of this chapter in 2 Nephi 16 deal with Isaiah and his experience in seeing the Lord. Now, I've read a few commentaries recently where it talks about that experience, and they try and just explain away that he really didn't see the Lord, didn't mean what he said. But I take Isaiah at his face value. He said in verse 1 of chapter 16, in the year that Uzziah died, which is about 740 BC, I saw the Lord sitting upon the throne. Some of the other things he sees in this is he sees not only the Lord sitting on the throne, and I don't know, I see a lot of pictures on this and how people draw it, and I can't draw it any better, but he sees seraphim. Now, a seraphim is plural. It's beings that are fiery angels. And these have 6 wings. So on the left or the right of the throne, you see fiery angels. But his first focus really is on the throne itself. That's the most majestic. These seraphim do an amazing thing to me. You got to understand, they're angels of fire, but they can't take a coal, which is also hot and fire, and give it to Isaiah. So here's the sequence. Isaiah sees the throne of God. He sees it full, the temple above, with God's train. Another analogy, smoke. Both symbolic that, hey, all the presence of God is filled with his train or smoke emanating from the Lord. He sees the seraphim, which have 6 wings, 2 that cover their eyes, symbolic that they are in a holy place. 2 of the wings are their ability to move, and 2 of the wings they cover their feet, which is a Mid-Eastern way anciently to be able to show respect that you are in the presence of greatness, in the presence of a king, in the presence of somebody, well, in the presence of God. He also sees the posts of the temple door, and he sees them shake. Once again, also talking about meaning the foundation of the temple shakes. He sees himself and admits, I am a man of unclean lips. When he admits that, this fiery angel doesn't just pick up the live coal. He uses tongs to take the live coal and put it on Isaiah's lips, which cleanses him, which purifies him. And then Lord asks, whom shall I send? And Isaiah responds, here am I, send me. There have been some really wonderful depictions of this process where an angel, seraph, gives Isaiah this nice hot coal to purify him. But looking at those tongs, when I came to the tongs, it seemed a little bit out of place until I start to realize this is also highly symbolic of the atonement of Jesus Christ. Isaiah can't be given the effects of the atonement, the blessings of the atonement, by anyone but through God. Not even an angel can do it. It comes from God. So just think about some of those symbols. We have the throne, the train, the smoke, the seraphim, the posts of the temple, the unclean lips, the live coal, and Isaiah. Applying it to the symbolism of the atonement, it could be that first, God is a king and a judge. We will all stand before God one day to be judged of what we've done here on earth. The train and the smoke that fills the celestial glory is the glory of God that fills the entire place. There are times where heavenly beings assist us to help us partake of the atonement. The posts of the temple would be the foundation. God provides stability, a foundation in our lives. Unclean lips would represent a personal unworthiness. And the live coal, that process of getting the tongs to us, is the process of purification. Maybe we would say repentance. And Isaiah is a type, and sometimes they call it the servant, or in a lot of literature. I've also thought about how this could be applied to us. Thinking about it, that we do stand before God to be judged. We can one day and will behold His glory. I do believe that heavenly beings assist us, and they're there to help bring us closer to God. God does give us stability in our lives. He provides that for us, just like the foundations of a temple. He's our foundation. we too have personal sins and can be purified through the atonement of Jesus Christ. And then, like Isaiah, when asked, "Whom shall I send? To my neighbor? To my friend? To my family member?" we can say, "Lord, here am I. Send me." I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me and studying a little bit in Isaiah, as recorded by the prophet in the Book of Mormon, 2 Nephi, chapter 16. See ya.